arts, and or it could even be looked at as like 3 EPs combined into 21st Century Breakdown, but it has to sort of reflect sort of the meaning of 21st Century Breakdown. So
now, did you know from the start that you wanted to do another really big sounding record and another record with that kind of reflected the times and the culture, or were there other things that you tried before you came on this approach?
There was no grand design to start. It was just we just knew be patient and let the songs. Eventually, something will reveal. The songs will start speaking to each other. And I think, what was it, 2 songs, at least it stood out to me, is Know Your Enemy. We knew that was a kind of a bold statement and a broad stroke. And then 21st Century Breakdown really kind of set the journey. It kind of set the landscape for, the whole record.
And so things just kind of progressed from there.
Yeah, I mean, there was other stuff that, we did the Foxborough Hot Tubs. That was just to kind of get out of our heads and just go do something else. And actually, after doing some of those shows, I was like, well, we could do this for the rest of our lives, too.
Yeah,
this is really fun. So it's...
of course, we die of liver failure at the end of a year.
It is a little weird to me that you guys basically took a break from making a record by making a whole nother record, right?
Yeah.
Call it weird, call it stupid. Or overly, we just like to have fun and do our own thing, and
we like to cheat on ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's check out another track. This is 21 Guns we're about to listen to, and what can you tell us about this song?
Sometimes it could sound like surrendering to something, to like your own demons or whatever, for like political reasons, to surrender or something like that means to give up or something like that. But it's just trying to find a moment of like internal humanity or something. So that is 21 Guns.
And this is 21 Guns. 21 Guns from Green Day's 21st Century Breakdown, which will be out Friday, May 15th, really soon. Is it a weird time, like when you're waiting for that record to come out, but it's actually finished, and you're like, you got the baby that's just about to pop, and you're wondering if everybody's going to like it? Or at this point,
no, put it back. I think... we finished the record. We actually had like 8 band practices, and then we were looking at each other going, yeah, I can't do this anymore. We can't stare at each other in a band practice. So we booked some shows, and we ended up playing 3 small club shows and one at the Fox Theater in Oakland. They're really fun, so that was one way for us to temper the time between finishing the record when it comes out and garner the excitement for ourselves.
You're guaranteed to lose your mind after you're finished making a record, waiting to put it out. Yeah. We just figured, let's lose our minds together with an audience.
In public.
And yeah, let's just do this. Let's throw it out on the slab.
You guys are sort of now traveling in this kind of company, right? I mean, you're making records with Bono. You've been a band for 15, 20 years. Is that something that you see for yourself, though? Like, do you feel like you want to belong in company of David Bowie and The Who, and not just, maybe bands that people would think of as your peers today? Like, are you thinking about Green Day's legacy in the long term?
It wouldn't suck, but, it's not something we really sit and, ponder too much. I think we're always moving forward.
We want to be ambitious for sure. We don't really know exactly what our ambitions, like we can't define what they are necessarily, but I love playing, like, we played Milton Keynes in England, and it was, I don't know what, 60,000 people or something like that. I mean, it was amazing. I love playing the DNA Lounge. I want to just experience everything for what it's worth all the time, as far as playing gigs and, and people just sort of getting into your records and stuff like that, So, I mean, if that means being the biggest band in the world, then hell yeah. I mean, take me there, It's as long as that's where the music's taking you,
I think the ambition of being like as big of a band as we could be, it's on a creative level. Like, we want to be, for lack of a better, like...
maximum Green Day.
Like,
the best we can be.
I think
be all that you can be.
Well, I think what's the most important is
innovative. That's the word I'm looking for.
Be the best band in the world,
and just come and do it our way. We're going to sneak in the back door. We're not going to be the biggest band in the world by saying we're the biggest band in the world. We're going to, hit you over the head with the Foxborough Hot Tubs, and then you're just going to have that ringing in your ears that says Green Day. You took away my hearing, and I like it.
All right, we're going to play a track now called Before the Lobotomy. We talked a little bit about being self-destructive. There's some of that in this track as well, right?
Yeah, I think it kind of toes the line between being self-destructive and having a really good time, There's that one line, I got so high I can't stand up. It's it's a kind of a strange arrangement. It goes from this sort of ballady part, and then it kicks into like a whole different song, and then back into the but it's open the floodgates and let her rip.
Let's do that. It's Before the Lobotomy. All right, we're back. It's Inside Green Day's 21st Century Breakdown. I'm Madden talking to the members of Green Day as we get ready for the release of 21st Century Breakdown, Friday, May 15th. And we've actually going to hear the song 21st Century Breakdown. We mentioned this earlier in the show. This one's kind of a tone setter for the record, right? I mean, you guys came up with it early, and it sort of... It says a lot of. Is it a mission statement, really, of what the record's going to be?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we first wrote the song. It's done like on a 4-track demo, and then we had sort of this sort of Irish jig part that was kind of floating around too. So I don't know. We just started thinking about, because like reading all the lyrics off, and sort of everything was so topical, kind of what has happened in the last like 5 to 10 years or something like that. You know, there's so it was like 21st Century Breakdown seemed to kind of have a definition of what the record was actually about.
Yeah, I mean, I think American Idiot was a record. I think one of the reasons why people responded to it is because it really did represent the spirit of that particular time. And is that something I guess you're kind of aiming for with this song as well?
I don't know if it's aiming for, or yeah, I mean, you want people to relate to what you're doing. You know, it's you want to have a relationship with the the listener, the people that are buying your records, fans, friends, or whatever you want to call them. But I mean, it was kind of the same way as like Dookie was the same way. It wasn't like political or anything like that, but at that moment, I mean, I don't know. I just want to go back to being a slacker again,
Well, and how do you write songs about things that are affecting people in their lives, and like it's easy to become preachy, isn't it? In that case, and I'm not saying that you guys do that, because I think you avoid it pretty well, but it's kind of a neat feat, because you don't want people to feel like you're telling them how to live their life.
No, you just want to just kind of take a photograph of what's happening at the moment, not telling people how to live or anything. I think it's also important that if you're writing like topical songs or political songs or rebel songs or whatever you want to call them, I think it's important for them to come from the same places like a love song would come from, because you want people to draw their own conclusions. I mean, I had Republican friends that were really into American Idiot, which was like, that's cool. It ain't about you, but that's cool, or it is about you, but or whatever you want to call it, but. It's it's just like capturing a moment,
All right, well, let's capture a moment. 20